I would like to invite for the keynote address Mr. Sanjoya Charee, Chairman and Managing Director, Food for Life Trust, and Ms. Anuradha Charee, Co-Trustee and Vice Chairman, Food for Life Trust. Let's give a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, global citizens. I thought we were a bit of a misfit in this gathering of HR professionals, but I realized I wasn't, because y'all are dealing with human resources. You know, I kept hearing HR from everybody, but I think it would be so good if all HR professionals use the full form of human resources when they address themselves. Because this abbreviation, I wonder that sometimes do we lose sight of being human? So it's just a thought. So I was really delighted that HR are custodians of corporate sustainability revolution, because that is the commitment of Food for Life Trust. We live in a defiled age where humanity tends to be consumed by the poisons of greed, anger, and foolishness in abundance. We see it all around. I have over 40 years of valuable working experience and have worked with reputed multinational companies, foreign companies, and Indian companies in the apparel, export, and retail industry. I also had the opportunity of having a joint venture with a Belgian chain of stores retailing kidswear in Belgium, France, Italy, and Spain. My working journey as an employee was very encouraging, as I was blessed with great working environments, wonderful mentors, and nurturing organizations. However, more recently, over the past 5 years, I experienced a drastic change in working cultures. The younger generation is unsparing, not concerned about seniority and experience of older employees. I was exposed to highly toxic working environments. Being human was not relevant. Being successful at any cost was. The change for the worse in corporate working environments have been a matter of grave concern to me personally, as all of us spend major hours of our day and lives at work. A humanistic working environment contributes to our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. It has major impact on our personal lives. We started by working to live, but the demands of today are making us live to work. With the advent of AI, I suspect this is going to get worse, with higher levels of insecurity and fear of loss of jobs, creating more competitiveness and toxicity. One of the missions of our trust is to create work opportunities for our senior citizens to utilize their wisdom and life experience. This will give them a purpose and let them continue to experience fulfillment by creating value in society. The message I want to convey to this esteemed group of HR professionals is to value your human resources and create a humanistic organizational environment where the limitless potential of every employee is harnessed through encouragement and not fear. A working environment where people peacefully coexist and experience fulfillment together. I leave you with this food for thought. To go back to the mission of Food for Life, as a human civilization, we have lived recklessly, without a thought of what impact our actions will have on the future generations and our beautiful blue life-sustaining planet. The universe has been sending us alarms as we witness global warming, depletion of valuable resources of soil and water, pollution of the air we breathe, earthquakes, forest fires, floods, man-made mountains of plastics, etc. It's time for us to awaken to our responsibility as global citizens to save our planet and contribute in our own small way to its betterment. It's time for us to save humanity for the sake of our children, grandchildren, and future generations. We at Food for Life Trust, understanding our responsibility as global citizens, have adopted some of the Sustainability Development Goals of the United Nations and have started working on them in our own humble way. The goals that resonated with us were to remove poverty, lessen hunger, ensure good health, quality education, gender equality, women empowerment, clean water, decent work, and climate action. Some of the facts I would like to present as an eye-opener to all of us. When people are hungry, hunger kills more than AIDS, malaria, TB, and any other disease. When people are hungry or malnourished, they cannot learn, they cannot work, and they cannot care for their own families. When addressing broader issues of poverty, such as education, employment, and health, our work starts at tackling hunger. Nearly 1 in 10 people in the world are exposed to severe levels of food insecurity. Nearly 2 billion people in the world do not have access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. If recent trends continue, the number of people affected by hunger will surpass 840 million by 2030, nearly 9.8% of the global population. As per the United Nations, extreme hunger and malnutrition remain a barrier to sustainable development and creates a trap from which people cannot escape. Hunger and malnutrition means less productive individuals who are more prone to disease and thus unable to earn more and improve their livelihoods. Keeping in mind the points, we at Food for Life have made it our fundamental mission to provide hygienic, nutritious, home-cooked meals to people suffering from malnutrition and hunger. To empower women, we provide them with occupation and give them the opportunity to cook healthy, non-spicy meals for us, pack them in the kitchen, and give it to us for distribution. Our aim is to provide meals to 5,000 children and adults a day and increase it to 10,000 lives and more eventually. To accomplish this goal, we solicit support from you and your esteemed organizations who share our vision. We are CSR certified. Donations made to Food for Life Trust are also exempt under Section 80G of the Income Tax Act. Please join hands with us to cherish, treasure, respect, nourish, and uplift lesser privileged human resources in our environment. Out of sight is out of mind. After today's event, our humble request is that you take our mission to your organization and ask them to partner with Food for Life Trust as part of their CSR initiative. I now hand over the mic to Sanjoya to touch on other goals of our trust. Thank you so much.
Very good afternoon. You know Anuradha, thank you so much. My twin sister Anuradha. Okay. Anuradha was the one who triggered this movement. I call this a movement, okay? I don't call this a trust, it's a movement. And every one of you, nothing happens by chance. If you're here, there's a huge reason why you're here. Even if a person crosses the street in front of you, that doesn't happen by chance, and you are here to listen to all of it. So nothing happens by chance. Now, I'm sorry I'm holding a script because I can go on endlessly. So I have to keep myself in rein. You know something? Coming to HR first, we'll come to the trust after that. you're all HR professionals over here. We're all facing an instant coffee generation. What does that mean? Oh my God. They want everything yesterday and they want it anyhow. Okay. That's the generation we are all witnessing. And any instant coffee generation, anybody who wants anything yesterday is obviously foundationless. How come they have foundations? They don't want to work hard. So they are foundationless. So the first imperative duty that all of us as HR professionals, as humanistic people, as humane souls, is to nourish them spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. How you do it, you're professionals. I don't have to give you gyan on that. So what's most important is that there has to be you have to give them the anchorage. That anchorage has to come from you. These kids know nothing. They want anything at any cost. Okay. Now, as far as I'm concerned, people say HR. What they mean HR is human resources development. For me, HR is human revolution, not human resources development. It's inner transformation. Thank you. Yeah. So inner transformation means the universal law very clearly states that your inner environment reflects in your outer environment. So we are cleansing ourselves through continuous, serious introspection from moment to moment, aren't we? We have a conscience, aren't we? Now coming to the trust. Okay. So Anuradha has always, emphasized in quite a few things, and like I said, I'm going to stick to a script because there's paucity of time. So we say here, friends, it all began with a vision backed by a strong prayer and dynamic action. It was at the back of our minds for a long, long time to serve our planet as votaries of the universe. We set ourselves the goal of moving into the critical arena of serving our planet in our own little way as part of our primary purpose and mission. I would now like to throw light on two very important areas where our trust is dynamically involved in. A, recycling of plastics. Might sound boring, you hear this all the time. B, maintaining the ecological balance in our planet by planting trees. You hear this all the time, all on television and forums and places. What do you feel the gravity of what this means? My goodness. The gravity of this is amazingly horrifying. It's horrifying, friends. Let me give you some data, okay? 8 million tons of plastic waste enter oceans annually. This is equivalent to dumping contents of one garbage truck into the ocean every minute. Okay? Over 150 million tons of plastic are produced globally each year. Plastic waste kills 100,000 marine animals annually due to suffocation. Okay? Microplastics are found in 83% of tap water samples, yours and mine included, leading to physical harm, inflammation, and toxicity in human beings. What does that entail? Inhalation of microplastics can cause respiratory problems such as asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, cancer, reproductive problems, and development disorders. In children, mind you. Development disorders means in children who are being born. Oh my God. So if plastic production continues at the current rate, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050. Can you imagine what that means? Okay, so now we come down to what we are doing. I'm cutting short my script because there's paucity of time. Okay, so importance of what we are doing is conserving natural resources, reducing landfill waste, saving energy and water, and decreasing greenhouse gas emissions. I'm not going to go too long. You guys are wise enough to understand what I'm saying. Okay. Now let's move on to the second component. The second component is planting trees is crucial for restoring ecological balance and mitigating the devastating impact of environmental degradation. Here are some critical data and facts highlighting the importance of tree plantation. 15% of greenhouse gas emissions come from deforestation. The clearance of forests for agriculture, urbanization, for greed, and other purposes release carbon dioxide and contribute to climate change. 1 million species face extinction due to the habitat loss and fragmentation. The IPBES Global Assessment Report warns that human activities, including deforestation, are driving species to extinction. 80% of the world's biodiversity is found in forest ranges. Forests provide habitat for a vast array of plants and animals, species many of which are now not even existing. So the importance of tree plantation is carbon sequestration, prevention of soil erosion, water cycling regulation, and conserving biodiversity. And of course, air and water pollution. Okay. So we're doing this in a very big way. Can't cover all this in this short span of time. Now what I want to go ahead and do is, for all of us present over here, I'm going to recite a few verses of imbibing the stand-alone spirit. We need to stand alone. अमिताभ बच्चन जी कहते हैं जहाँ मैं खड़ा होता हूँ लाइन वहीं से शुरू होता है. Is it not? That's the way we have to look at life from moment to moment. So here we go. I'll stand up and recite these verses. सूरज की किरणों में लिपटे हुए चलो, आओ हम आगे बढ़ें. तूफान से नजरें मिलाते हुए चलो, आओ हम बढ़ते चले. सीने में दिल है और निर्भय है आत्मा, जीतेंगे हम सब, ये है सबकी प्रार्थना. हमारी लड़ाई है ना किसी और से, आओ ये संकल्प करें. जीतेंगे बाजी चट्टानों को दाब के, तारों को छूते हुए. सीने में दिल है और निर्भय है आत्मा, जीतेंगे हम सब, ये है सबकी प्रार्थना. मुश्किल को आसान बनाते हुए चलो, आओ हम आगे बढ़ें. किस्मत से पंजा लड़ाते हुए चलो, दुनिया को हम जीत लें. सीने में दिल है और निर्भय है आत्मा, जीतेंगे हम सब, ये है सबकी प्रार्थना. दरिया के लहरों पे होके सवार आओ, आओ हम आगे बढ़ें. पंछी की नजरों से दुनिया को देखते, आओ हम उड़ते चले. सीने में दिल है और निर्भय है आत्मा, जीतेंगे हम सब, ये है सबकी प्रार्थना. Thank you for tolerating us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjoya and Ms. Anuradha. Please stay here for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this wonderful initiative calls for appreciation, calls for a big applause. Let's do that. And to acknowledge their efforts and dedication, we would like to felicitate them. We'll proceed with felicitation ceremony, for which I would like to invite on stage Mr. Gaurav Arora. Let's have a huge round of applause. And Dr. G.P. Rao.
I really have to express my debt of gratitude to a few people. Mr. Tali Sriswi, you've been a god for us. Believe me, without you, nothing would have happened. Manmeet Singh, my beloved brother, he's beyond blood for me. Without Manmeet, nothing would have happened. We would not have been standing in front of all of you. And the entire team at India Convention, Riti and everybody else, so very kind of you to have tolerated us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. G.P. Rao and Mr. Gaurav Arora, for helping through the felicitation.